Hi, my name is Lindsay Hurst. I'm a chartered physiotherapist and clinical Pilates instructor at the Leeds Physiotherapy and Pilates practice. And I'm going to just give you some basic exercises to start post-pregnancy. Now these exercises are designed for anybody that's 6 weeks and beyond after having a natural delivery, or 12 weeks and beyond after having a cesarean section. I do suggest that before starting any exercise after pregnancy that you consult your midwife, your physiotherapist, or your GP. So we're going to use a little piece of equipment today called an Uva ball. If you've not got anything like this at home, then just a small cushion, something that you can just squeeze and apply some resistance when we do some leg exercises. Now we're going to come down into a lying position. So we're going to lie ourselves first of all onto our side, roll over then onto our backs, and get ourselves now into what we call the rest position. So you want to have your knees bent, heels level with your bottom, that gap between your knees. Now to find our neutral position with the pelvis, we do some pelvic tilting. So let's now flatten the back down towards the floor. So you feel now that you've made complete contact with the mat. Let's now arch your back away from the floor. So you're pressing your tailbone down. Feel as though you're lifting your back away from the floor. Let's do that again in each direction then. So flatten your back down and then arch your back away from the floor. Come and then rest your pelvis, your back, somewhere between the two. So you want to now just be resting with a small gap in your lower back, and you want to be able to maintain that little gap there throughout these exercises. We want the rib cage to stay soft, chest to be wide, and lengthening out the neck. Now then, we're going to focus first of all on our pelvic floor. And I want you to just visualize where the pelvic floor muscle is now. I want you to just visualize underneath your pelvis, attaching your pubic bone, tailbone, and your sitting bones together, your pelvic floor. And we're going to just, when we contract the pelvic floor, visualize pulling those 4 areas together and lifting up inside the pelvis. So arms down by our side. Let's relax now with a big deep breath in. As we exhale, think about pulling those 4 areas together as you're aware then of your pelvic floor, lifting that inside the pelvis, and then we're going to release that out. I want you to do that again, and I want you to think about contracting this muscle as hard as you can. So let's inhale, exhale, squeeze that pelvic floor, lifting those 4 areas together. Feel that lift right inside your pelvis, and then release that out. So that's your maximum contraction there. Let's now run half that maximum contraction. So I want you to contract to 50% of what you can maximally now. So let's again contract that pelvic floor, lift it just half, and then release. So you should find that easier to contract at 50%. So let's do that again. So lift and contract, pull those 4 areas together, hold that just at 50%, and then release. Now if we can do that to 1/3 of your maximum contraction now, this is the contraction we want to be working at when we're training this muscle. So just 1/3 of your maximum contraction, think about pulling those 4 areas together, lifting up inside your pelvis, and again now that should be quite easy to maintain a contraction. So it's easier to hold at 1/3 than it is maximally. Let's release that out now and just do one more. So inhale, exhale, then just lift that pelvic floor, hold that there, and then release that out. Now then, we're going to use the ball now just to see if we can assist that pelvic floor in working. So I want you to place that ball in between your knees. Now we're going to squeeze that ball then to assist the pelvic floor into working. So let's maintain neutral. Think about inhaling and then exhale. Squeeze that ball at the same time as contracting that pelvic floor. So remember, just lifting just to that 1/3 of your maximum contraction and then releasing. Let's do that again then. So you're squeezing that ball, lifting the pelvic floor just 1/3 of your maximum contraction, and then releasing out. Okay, we're going to do one more and then we're going to progress this then. So exhale, squeeze that ball, lifting that pelvic floor to 1/3 of your maximum contraction, and then releasing. Now then, to progress this, we're going to add a pelvic tilt. So I want you to again take your breath in. Exhale now, squeeze that ball, tighten the pelvic floor, and then flatten your back as your tailbone just starts to lift up. Let's then release that out as you inhale. And another breath out then. Squeeze that ball, flatten your back as your pelvic floor contracts. So pelvic tilting with the pelvic floor contraction. And then we'll release. Let's just do 3 more now then. So you're going to squeeze that ball as you exhale, flatten your back, lifting up the pelvic floor. And then release that out. Last 2, squeeze that ball as you exhale, flatten your back as you feel that pelvic floor lift. And release that out. And we'll make your next one then your last one. So squeeze that ball as you exhale, flatten your back, feel that pelvic floor contraction lift. And then we're going to release that out, back into your neutral position, releasing that ball. Just take that ball out now then. Bring the feet and knees together. You're rolling onto your side to come and push yourself up just to protect those abdominals as you come up into sitting. And if you practice those exercises on a daily basis, then you should soon find that you're able to progress onto further basic to advanced exercises. Thank you for watching.